So, I'm going to talk about how to deal with frustration in a positive way. It's not a matter if you'll be frustrated, it's just a matter of when you'll be frustrated. So, the best defense is to have a good offense, right? And for me, when frustrations come in my business, I expect it. And so I deal with it accordingly. Number one, I look at it for what it is. If it's something that I can fix or do something about, then I take the necessary action. But for me, I know that things are going to happen that are not within my control. And when they do happen, I just deal with them. And so instead of sitting and mulling over what's going on and how horrible it is, I say, wait a minute, so this has happened. What's the next? What's the action plan to deal with it? And take the necessary action and move on. To me, that's the best and only way to deal with frustration. Because if you don't do that, then it just leaves you in a rut. And when you're running a business, you want to have movement, forward movement. You don't want to be stuck. So my best advice for frustration is just to deal with it, take the necessary action, and move on quickly. As you're working in your business, the best way to move your business forward is to gain momentum. But what does momentum looks like for you? For me, momentum is having a campaign of, say, I'm going to send out 50 letters, I'm going to make 50 phone calls, I'm going to make 25 site visits and execute, and I'm going to do it all within the next 30 days. That's just an example. But momentum really is just taking action, um, forward action that's going to grow your business, but you do it in a more deliberate way, in a timely way. So what we would call SMART goal, you make it specific, measurable, attainable, risky, and timely. And so for me, that's the best way to build momentum is to make SMART goals and follow through and execute and do the action. And that will help you build momentum. So how do you actually follow the plan that you create? Okay, so you have this great idea, you're going to build momentum, and so now you have a plan. So how do you follow the plan, right? Because a lot of us, we make plans and we don't follow through. Well, you make yourself accountable. That's what you do. And the best way that I find that I can make myself accountable is to have a plan for every day and make sure that I follow through on the plan. And if I miss one day, I know the next day I'll have to do double duty. So I penalize my own self to make sure that I get the work done. It sounds silly, but once you get into starting your business and you have other things pushing at you, it's really not that easy, but it can be done because I've done it and I am doing it for the past 8 years. So to really grow, you have to actually follow the plans that you create, and I encourage you to do that. So one of the mistakes that people make when they start their business and they're anxious to get clients, they make promises that they cannot keep. They overpromise the client and then they don't deliver. So I encourage you, have a plan, stick to the plan, and you present your proposal. If the client is demanding more of you, decide, tell them I will get back with you, but do not make a promise if you cannot follow through. And that's why I have a proposal, and everything in my proposal I know that I can completely deliver to the client, and that makes it agreeable to both parties. So when I started my business, at the time, social media was huge, but now from then to now, social media has exploded. So my main way of being found online was through my website. But now there's so many options to have your business found online. So I have not, apart from my website, I have not had anyone contact me for any potential clients contact me online. Now most of my referrals are basically coming from word of mouth. Someone who I already work with tell someone else about my services. but it's always good to have a presence online. So my secret to being found online was through my website. Now we have LinkedIn, we have Facebook. There's so many options out there to be found online. And so for me, I feel most of my potential clients are online. And another place that I get clients from are going to conferences. But basically, my secret to getting found online is to have a website, have a presence. So when someone types in consultant pharmacist, that I would come up and they will contact me to be their consultant. So that is my secret to being found online, having a website and having other presence like social media that will explain exactly what you do to the potential client. So how do you, as they say, sell yourself to without making it feel weird? You know, as humans, we don't like to sing our praises. And I become self-conscious when I speak about how great I am. So what I do when I meet with a prospective client, I really focus on what their needs are. I ask a lot of questions, and I ask a lot of questions to find out what their needs are, what they're looking for, and also to see if I would be a good fit for their business, or personality wise, if this is someone that I would like to work with. And then after they have told, after we sit down and have a conversation, I put my proposal out there. And then I will talk about my company and the benefits that they will get from working with my company and with me. And so I do sell myself. And at first it used to feel weird, but it doesn't anymore. So my thought is, don't be afraid to say how good you are at what you do. Make sure that you talk to your client and get a good feel for what they're looking for and how they would like your services delivered. To me, that is the key that has helped me to grow my business and to make sure there's no misunderstanding when I start with a new consultant client. So one of the things I'm doing in my business now is to package my services. And so my packages work different ways. If I get a facility who decide to give me multiple centers, then I can give them a better price on my services. And then if those same centers decide to bundle my services, so for example, I offer risk management and I offer pharmacy services. If they offer both of those contracts to me, then they get an even better price. And I can do that because I'm already going to the facility every month. And that is a benefit that I show them as a risk manager. I review their incident reports every month. On my visit, they get to see me and address any issues that might be going on. And people like that, even though sometimes there may or may not be any incidents, but just being there, finding out how things are going on face to face, it really makes a difference. It gives them peace of mind, and it lets them know that you're available to them. So for me, I am not afraid to offer a better deal on my price as a package deal to facilities who are using me for multiple services.